How's everybody doing? This is the Quad City Gamer back at you with another one. Basically, as you can hear, I'm playing Marvel's Avengers in the background. Basically, what the issue is this. What you see on the screen is Capwolf. This is real. This is not Cap. This is 100% real. This is coming to the game tomorrow. As much as I love the marketplace, and I do, I like the marketplace that we have different skins and they're actually, doing some original stuff here. When's the last time you ever heard somebody talk about Capwolf? That's a deep cut right there for sure. Obviously if they can do this, then there's no excuse anymore. They can't excuse that they can't do certain things, like when they dropped the Infinity War cap, everybody thought that at least, we knew that he wasn't going to have the Wakanda shields, but everybody thought that at least he was going to have like a different shield, like the shield skin was going to change itself, just like they did with, the cap shield itself in the first place. The first different shield that we got was with the I can't think of the name of the skin right now, the steampunk skins. That was the first different cap skin that we got for the shield, was the steampunk skin. And since they did that, then they came out with the actual MCU cap shield. And that has been awesome that they're doing that. Then we thought, hey, you know what? Infinity War, they're dropping Infinity War cap out of nowhere. Nobody expected that at all, which was cool. They dropped Infinity War cap. But listen, dropping new skins, people buy them. I buy these skins. I have every MCU skin, and I buy them. But this is not content. This is not endgame content. This is a live service game with a lack of endgame content. And I realize Spider-Man's coming in about like 45 days from now. But the issue is that there's things that, these things need to be addressed. They need to not be overlooked. This is being completely overlooked, and it's being completely, it's fallen on deaf ears here because, there's so many good ideas that so many people have for the game. Why are these things not in the game? Why are they not being implemented? Why do we not have a helicarrier mission in multiplayer? Why is it that we can't defend the helicarrier and defend the turbines? Or just a basic, copy of the mission in the actual story mode? Why can't you copy that over for multiplayer? What is the issue with that? Why is it that, we don't have cloning labs if it was already done? Why are we haven't heard anything about, patrol mode. Patrol mode seems like obviously it's not going to be here till next year, but we haven't heard any new news about it. Nothing about patrol mode. They dropped the an image of the claw raid the other day, and it looks cool. It looks like they're really focusing hard on this claw raid, but I hate to be so critical about some of these things, but we haven't had anything in like over a month. The players are basically starving for content. Doing the same thing over and over again. Like I said in my video yesterday, people play this game because they love the game. The combat is awesome. I've never ever in my life, besides Skyrim, I've never in my life seen a community of people playing a game that put up with so much bullshit because they love the game that much. Never in my life. Most games have died out by now. You know why this hasn't died out? Because people love the Avengers. They know they got a gold mine on their freaking hands. And they're smart. Okay? They're starting to get smart. I'm not going to say they're smart. Obviously all those people in there are highly intelligent people individually. But some of the decisions they're making as a company don't really make a lot of sense. If you want more players, then you have to put more content in the game. People are asking you for content. And though you're giving us Spider-Man, the issue is that that's just going to be another thing that's going to reset on a Thursday. So in the meantime, why don't you put smaller things and implement them on Thursdays and throw them in the game as far as end game content? Give us a new mission. Give us a new mission chain. You're not putting any events in the game. This is a live service game and it has to be maintained. Somebody should literally be dedicated to putting new things besides marketplace items in the game each week. Not just dailies. But there should be things that we can do throughout the week. This is a live service game. There should be somebody attentive to the game. This is a AAA game. Why don't you have the resources and the people dedicated to this? I think there's a lot of missteps that they made with this game. There's a lot of missteps, and hopefully it's getting better. And it seems like it's getting better, but it's like baby steps that they're making. Then they take one step forward and two steps backward. You know, they implemented the Mega Hive to do it 3 times a week, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Mondays. Then they took that out. They took it out completely. Then they took out the ability for you to do the Mega Hive by yourself with AI. And now you can only do it multiplayer. You could do it by yourself, but you would literally be by yourself. Why are they taking these things out of the game? Why aren't you leaving the red room in the game? Why isn't that still in the game? If the community is telling you that this is what they want, okay, and people are still buying your skins, is it because people are still giving you money that you're like, well, they're just going to put up with it anyway? Do you understand at some point, people are going to walk away from this game? There are already a majority of people, not the majority, but there is a lot of people that only play the game on Thursdays because that's when everything resets. So basically, you're going to give us the Spider-Man DLC only for PlayStation, right? So obviously, the reason why you guys gave out Xbox, you gave it to Xbox for free is because you needed a bigger player base for the game. You needed to justify the fact that you are dedicating resources and people and paying these people to make content for the game. So you have to justify that somehow. So you need the player base to go up. Understandable. So you give it out to Xbox for free. PlayStation has a leg up on everybody else because we get Spider-Man. They don't get Spider-Man. So if you want to play Spider-Man, you have to buy PlayStation. Okay? So we understand why you're doing things. You got to make money, so you slowly fed us a scenario to where now it's okay for us to get consumables. You put it in the consumables. I didn't like the way I said consumables. So basically, you drip fed us to the point to where now people are starving for content, but you're still making tons of money. So is it that you figure you're going to make money anyway? So it doesn't really matter. They're just going to get the content that they get. Because I promise you, this game would be so much greater, so much better. You would make a lot more money as well if you started putting more content in the game. Even if it's smaller content. Like I said, add things to the game on a Thursday. Why did we get a 23 gigabyte update? And the only thing that changed was that we got that Infinity War cap skin, and then we got the Daily Bugle sign changed. What was in that update? You said it was bug fixes? What exactly did you fix? It doesn't seem like anything really changed. Now, Kamala Khan this weekend was fixed. I'm fairly certain that her animations were fixed because she's no longer standing there like a board, walking around like she's floating in the air, like she's stiff as a board. You know, light as a feather, stiff as a board. You ever seen that movie? Yeah. Yeah. So she's no longer walking around, and people can see her animations. You know, you used to only be able to see her animations if you're playing her, and obviously I don't play Kamala, so it doesn't really matter to me. But it did bother me when I saw her just kind of sticking around, literally walking around as a stick in the game, and then you see people getting hit, and she's doing nothing. So they fixed that this weekend. So, you know, thank you guys for fixing that. Good job. Okay, but we still have the other bug with the stats. The stats are just for some reason drastically getting lower and lower and lower. And when you go to select your character and then you go to play in the game, people are getting one-shotted, and then you're not doing any damage, and people are having to exit out of games. We're still having problems with matchmaking. People are getting kicked out of the OLT. Sessions are being cut off. People are getting kicked out when they're joining multiplayer sessions when it has to do with the story. People are getting, there's a lot of strange things happening. People are still getting stuck in the floor. And I don't mean to nitpick, okay? This is not a nitpicking. I'm not trying to nitpick. The thing is that when I see things like this is a great skin. Capwolf, awesome. Wow, cool. You know, cool. We're probably going to buy it. Yeah, I'll pay $14 for it. Awesome, right? You want me to pay $14 for it? Okay. Well, I want something new. I want something new to play Capwolf in. I want Capwolf, and I want to play against the Marvel Zombies. I want you to, make Marvel Zombies, and then I want to fight them. I don't want to just have it as a skin. I want to be able to fight them. Stick them in a room somewhere, and just let us fight them all. It's not going to take that. It's not going to be that hard. You don't even have to get that elaborate in some of this content that we're asking for. Take some of the missions that we have in the campaign and make them playable for multiplayer. Why can't you do that? Like I said about the helicarrier mission, why are we not Why don't we have a mission where it's like defend a defend drop zone where you defend the helicarrier? Why not? Why don't we have an accurate horde mode? Where's the red room? Why didn't you put the red room back in for good? And then you can use the red room as a jumping off point. You already have it in the game. Now you can use it as a jumping off point and say, hey, something's happening in the red room. Better go check it out. Bam, we get there and, we got to fight a new enemy. Or, we got to fight a bunch of enemies in a smaller space. Or, different things that could happen. These are things that don't necessarily have to have storyline dialogue to them. Okay, it can be explained by little code files and things like that. There's so many things and so many ideas that so many people have for this game that are so great. And people, listen, this is how I know that you guys are offended. All right, this is how I know you guys are offended by a lot of the criticism. One, you guys know you have a great game because I've never seen people put up with so much bullshit in my life. Okay, the only other game that I've seen people put up with so many bugs was Skyrim, and that game is still around because of the because you're able to download mods for it because of the modding community. And then PlayStation jumped on the bandwagon, and then the whole thing with Bethesda, and they're saying that they weren't going to monetize it, and then they have the Creation Club and whatever. Okay, that's the only other game that I've seen that had lots of bugs. Until this day, that game is still buggy. It's still glitchy. And people love that game. This is the only other game that I've seen. This game, people put up with a lot of stuff with this game. A lot. And it's still around. And it seems like it's going to be around. You guys have a plan on developing it for a long time. You need to dedicate the people and the resources to continuing to add more content into the game. The more content you add into the game, the more new content, then you're going to see people that aren't only playing the game on Thursday. You're giving us the claw raid, but then it's only going to be another thing that resets on Thursday. So what are we doing throughout the week? Bring back the mega hives that you can do 3 times a week. Make the 14 floor elite hive or the last Avengers standing. Make that a multiplayer thing that you can farm. Where's cloning labs? If it's done, then put it out. Put it out. If it's done, put it out. Throw in some skins with the cloning labs, and bam. Now you just made profit from the cloning labs. You know what? People would even pay for the DLCs. I know there's a lot of people that would pay for DLC. Now, you guys said it was free, so obviously you can't go back on your word. And you're still making money with the skins. But the more content that you put out, the more content, the more endgame content, even if it's something small, but the more things that you do for the game, the more money you're going to make. It just seems simple. It just seems like a very, very simple formula that you guys have to follow. And instead, it seems like you guys are getting offended, and you're like, well, they're just going to get what they get. And if they have a problem with it, then they don't have to play the game. You're getting offended. Whoever is in charge and is deciding to get offended and saying, listen, we're going to prioritize this marketplace and get Capwolf in the game immediately. I want you to make Capwolf. That's what he told a developer. He said, go make Capwolf. You're making Capwolf? Good. We're putting it in the game. Putting it in the game. They announced it today. It's coming in the game tomorrow. Don't tell me that you can't announce something that you need time to prepare. You don't. You just made Capwolf. Capwolf's in the game. No excuse. You could have changed the shield on Infinity War Cap and made it look like the Wakanda shields. And, it would have been great. People would have been so happy. You know how many people, more people would have bought the skin. Put the red room back in. Stop doing this time gating stuff. Come on. Seriously. It doesn't make sense what you guys are doing. It's so frustrating because it just doesn't make any sense. It just seems like who's in charge? What conversations are you guys having? Who is this guy that's saying, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, you know what? Let's just take that out. Yeah, only make that for a week. Yeah, let's do that. It's just a formula that you guys have to try to, it's like you're trying to make, trying to drip feed people. Is this some type of formula? Because it doesn't seem like a very winning formula. There's so many people, big content creators that are only playing the game on Thursday. They play the game only on Thursday. And they've already switched their content from only filming about you. Look, a lot of these people that cut their teeth on the YouTube scene, they started making content about Marvel's Avengers, and they've already moved on to other games. Now, if you think this is going to last forever, this little drip feed, formula that you guys have where you prioritize the marketplace, it's not. It is not going to last forever. It's going to last as long as until another Marvel game comes out. If you want the game to last, put more endgame content. Put more endgame content. You have a banger on your hands. And whoever is in charge needs to hear this. Whoever's in charge and making the decisions, you need to hear this. Put smaller content out, but put it out more frequently. And I promise you, the player base on PlayStation and console will go up significantly. Significantly to the point to where you'll be able to develop this game. You'll be able to port this game and any, you'll be fucking developing this game on the fucking PlayStation 8. It'll still be relevant on the PlayStation 8. Look at Skyrim. Like I said, I made a comparison to Skyrim. It's not as good as a game as Skyrim. Don't get me wrong. There's two different games, two different genres. But look at Skyrim. Look how long that game lasted. You know why it lasted? Because now they're allowing people to put content in the game. Content. They changed the game by modding content. I'm not asking you for mods, but the more content, the added content that you put into the game, the more that the game will succeed. The more that it will succeed. Stop getting angry that people are making videos and critiquing some things, because they're making videos about it because they want some things in the game, because they like to play your game. It doesn't make any sense. Who's making these decisions? You guys like making money. Well, then why don't you put more content in the game? You know what I think? I think because it's free. You backed yourself into a wall, and now you're like, well, we're, dedicating all this time to make content for free for them. We need to make money from the game. So if we're going to prioritize our employees to do something with their time that they are on the clock and we're paying them, then we need to make something back. Okay. Well, then start correlating skins and the marketplace with content. Not only will the player base grow up, but then it won't seem like you're losing money or that you're dedicating resources to things that aren't making you money. Because the more people that play the game, the more money you're going to make. Because it seems, like I said, that you're prioritizing the marketplace and how much money you can make over the free content that you promised us. You didn't have to promise free content. There's plenty of people that would pay for content. They really would. There's not a lot of games out there to give you free content. Look at Elder Scrolls Online. You have to pay for absolutely everything in that damn game. And it's a huge game. But you know why people pay for it and play it? Because there is so much to do. It never ends. By the time that you stopped, or by the time that you finished playing one thing, they've already added something else in the game. There's so many DLCs and story packs, and if I stopped playing the game a little bit ago, but it's hard to keep up with how much content is in that game. That game will be around for the next 5 to 10 years. Easily. They're going to have to keep porting the game to the next system, and the next system, and the next system. You know why? Because it's never ending. This is what you guys have here with the Marvel's Avengers. But if you can revamp the game, fix some things, and then add more content to the game, you have a gold mine on your hand. Thank you guys for listening. Leave a comment, like and subscribe. Do what you want. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Basically, I needed to make this video because, I had to get this stuff off my chest. And I hope everybody enjoys their day. And I will be seeing everybody tomorrow for the reset. And hopefully we'll have a team of capwolves. We go out and beat up Abomination, of course, like we always do, 1 billion times a day. All right, Quad City Gamer, I'm out.